the other for the surge of illegal immigration. Trump telling Fox's Hannity afterward.
It's the worst border ever in the history of the world. There's never been a border where 15, 16, maybe 18 million people have already crossed.
Biden criticizing Republicans for killing a border security bill.
Here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together.
Republicans say the president can secure the border by issuing an executive order, and Congress approves the short-term extension that averts a government shutdown through March 22nd. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 USME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Can I say it?
Yes, you can.
TGIF. Thanks.
Say it again for those in the back.
Friday. Yeah. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
Kelly Matt.
Kelly's out of town this
Yeah, she's taking a road trip down to Wilmington and see how things are going there. I will tell you, Kelly, I know you're listening. You got a lot of traffic to deal with.
Yeah. First is getting through Hampstead.
I'd just rather go through Burgaw.
I don't like going that way. It's mostly 2 lanes, isn't it?
It's Highway 53 all the way to Burgaw.
Have they?
It's 2 lane.
Yeah.
But there's nobody out there.
School buses.
Well, if you leave early enough, no, nobody's going to be out there.
True.
How are things going? I hear a dog outside already this morning.
Yes, I know. I need to get up and let him in.
Yeah,
He's going to keep barking.
He'll be squawking a little bit.
Yes.
So, anyway, we'll let him in a minute. Tragic news up there in Greenville Wednesday morning. Greenville police say a gunman shot an East Carolina University scientist. Unprovoked attack near an elementary school about 8:30 in the morning. Police took the gunman into custody after they exchanged gunfire with him. It started about 8:30 on a sidewalk adjacent to an elementary school. The ECU employee encountered the man on a bike, and the chief said the gunman fired at least 5 times. A school resource officer at the school heard the gunshots, added the students and the staff there. The victim, 27-year-old Andrew Redioff, a research scientist at the university. ECU says Redioff has been with them since December 2020. Police say the man received what appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries. The accused gunman, 38-year-old Savell Hightower, has been charged with, you ready? Multiple counts of attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, inflicting serious injury, assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill on a law enforcement officer, possession of a firearm by, I guess what, a felon, and possession of a stolen gun. Go figure.
Yeah, but they never really came up with a reason why he did it. It was just random?
Just random. I guess it's random. Anyway.
That's what I took it as to be.
It was not a targeted attack. Let's just put it that way. Glad they got him.
Oh, I am too. I mean, it didn't waste any time.
No, they caught him pretty quickly. So what a mess. What a mess that was. Better let him in, or he'll just keep squawking. I don't know whether y'all can hear him or not, but he's outside, a little shockwave, and he's a bundle of about 8 pounds, 9 pounds. So he can make some noise, and here he comes. Good boy. Good boy. Getting up early these days. We just heard about the president and Donald Trump both were at the border, different locations, a couple of 100 miles apart yesterday. Both took opportunities to shoot at each other, take shots. Biden was there first in a media address. He talked mostly about climate change. What? You go to the southern border.
Climate change.
He even called what he referred to as deniers Neanderthals. What a way to make friends with voters, right?
Well, let me see.
You believe in climate change? You're a Neanderthal. Then he blasted legislators who voted against a so-called border security bill, what he called a bipartisan effort to secure the border, that he opened up to virtually anyone from anywhere when he took office 3 years ago. That bill also included massive amounts of taxpayer dollars for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. Again, as I've said before, let our legislators decide on individual bills for each of these causes or any other causes. Don't lump a bunch of stuff together. It's going to be harder to get through. It's disguising what you pork barrel people
Yeah,
want.
I was just going to
That's what
say
it
pork
is.
barrel.
Have one bill for the border, one for Israel, another for Ukraine, and one for Taiwan. You cannot lump those things together. What's that got to do with border security? But it's being
Nothing.
touted as a border security bipartisan bill. We have a way of knowing, if they're all lumped together, how much of our money will go to any of the elements. Think about it. We all agree that the border needs to be secured. But if it's a lump sum, it can be maneuvered around so-called border security element, and that they could get just $100, and the rest is given to whoever the administration wants. That was a bad plan, a bad move. By the way, Donald also visited the border yesterday, called the mess there the Biden invasion, said that the president is doing more for illegal aliens than he's doing for veterans. Agree or disagree? 910-333-0139. You guys have got about 20 minutes for open mic discussion today. Coming up at 7:30, we're going to have another candidate, and this one's running for re-election to the Onslow County Board of Commissioners. Robin Knapp will be joining us. Part of it's not that we're inviting him here for an interview. We're letting him spout what he wants to spout because he's paying for it.
That's right.
Right? As part of his payment plan.
That's right.
I'm going to read you one here, a story that you were looking at too a little earlier. Didn't know what it was. Cammie Vaughn, female, she gripped her victim impact statement during her rapist sentencing when the presiding judge, Robert Adrian, overturned his conviction, a totally unprecedented move that stripped him of his judgeship just recently.
Well,
Yep. The Quincy, Illinois judge said during the January 2022 sentencing that these things happen when teenagers engage in underage drinking, and co-eds and female people swim in their underwear. The defendant, 18 at the time, is named Drew Clinton. He was off the hook. The evidence was there. The judge could see it. Everyone could see it. Little Miss Vaughn said we were all very happy that he was finally going to prison. That was in the 2022 trial. Vaughn was 16 at the time of her attack. The ordeal started with the attack at a graduation party in May of 2021. 5 months later, Adrian found Clinton guilty of sexually assaulting Vaughn. A jury found him guilty, and he pronounced it. That led to the January 2022's reversal when the same judge said the 148 days Clinton had spent in jail was punishment enough. Really?
oh,
The Illinois Courts Commission tossed Adrian off the bench for abusing his power to circumvent the law that required Clinton to serve a mandatory prison sentence. He didn't go to prison, he went to jail. The commission added that the judge did that to, quote, satisfy his personal belief as to what constituted a just sentence. The victim testified that her attacker held a pillow over her face while he raped her.
and the judge thinks it's all a joke.
It's called she
The
wore
former judge.
her underwear to go swimming.
Well, at least she had underwear on.
The judge fought back. He said the commission was wrong and that they did not look at the evidence that showed the defendant was not guilty. What evidence? And besides, he was found guilty by a jury. Only appeals courts can change that, not the same judge that had no right to overturn the verdict. It's about time that judicial folks are held accountable for their actions. Good for the state of Illinois.
I applaud that.
So do I.
applaud that.
Good for them.
He doesn't need to be a judge.
No, he's not.
He needs to go back just like practicing
And he can't even appeal this.
civil law or something.
Hey, he'll be, I'm no doubt stripped of his, by the bar.
I would think so.
Yeah, so would I. So anyway, it's about time that they're held accountable for their actions. God. A police officer and a court worker were killed and 2 other officers were injured in Independence, Missouri yesterday after gunfire erupted while serving an eviction notice at a Jackson County home. You go there, you're going to tell people, here's a notice, you got to get out. Probably didn't pay your rent or whatever. Then you and a court worker are killed and 2 other cops are injured.
Yes, that was a tragic story. We're just going to serve a paper.
Independence Police Department Chief Adam Dustman told reporters that one of the officers, 35-year-old Cody Allen, was shot and killed while responding to reports that a civil processor had been shot at a home just after 1 o'clock local time. Allen responded with the 2 other officers, and when they arrived, they found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. As they attempted to take the man to safety, the officers took gunfire from the person inside. The other 2 officers were taken to the hospital. They're expected to recover. The civil processor, Drexel Mack, was also killed in the incident. The shooting took place in the northeast section of Independence. My God, what in the world? The officer was serving an eviction notice when he was shot. One person was taken into custody. Dustman said was the only suspect. The judicial officer had been with the court system for over 12 years serving papers. Man.
How do you feel about trees?
They make good paper and shades and stuff like that.
Here's a recent county commissioner meeting in Pender County. The chairman of the Pender County Board of Commissioners wants his colleagues to consider creating a new and improved tree ordinance after the removal of hundreds of century-old trees
Oh, no.
that were in Scotts Hill for years.
Oh, really? Scotts Hill?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful area.
You could just take your trailer,
Oh.
load up. The conversation came up at a recent commissioners meeting after South Carolina-based Mungo Homes cleared land that was once part of the Abbey Nature Preserve. Well, who approved that to begin with? Wouldn't that have been the commissioners?
If it was once part of the conservation effort, why was it taken off? What happened?
Well, Pender County and Mungo Homes reached an agreement for the county to lease the park for $5 a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For what?
And the park is protected by a conservation easement from the North Carolina Coastal Land Trust. The land off of Scotts Hill Road, and you know where that's at,
Yes,
it's
I
a
do.
beautiful area, is rich with history as it is also home to the Poplar Grove Plantation, which dates back to the 1800s, with many of the trees dating back as far. The land off of the clear cutting of the trees has been a difficult sight to see. So social media.
How did that happen?
I don't
Why
know.
wasn't a cease and desist order?
Well,
And why did Pender County lease it to? What is this company going to do with it
they're going to build homes.
for $5 a year?
They're leasing the land. But the chairman of the board, Brad George, said, I'd like to encourage that we get back on trying to figure a tree ordinance out that doesn't take 2-inch trees to replace a 100-year-old oak tree. Man.
Those trees are huge.
Yes. I show some pictures of here. It must be 100 foot tall.
Hmm.
Wow.
Mm-mm-mm.
Interesting.
Hello, Timmy. How are you?
Hello, Tim.
Oh man, we're doing good. It's Friday.
Yes, TGIF.
I got to do some confession this morning on some picking. I picked on somebody pretty hard last night, so I'm calling to apologize.
Uh-oh.
Who did you pick on last night? Me?
Let me guess, Robin.
Rob, no, Paul, no
Oh.
collard green eating Buchanan. And I'm not really apologizing. I'm making a joke about it. We have Onslow County Extension Agent has their annual agricultural banquet, and we all attended. I escorted St. Diane in because she's farm service agent, and we had the county commissioners there. I mean, we had Mark Price was there, Royce Bennett, Paul Buchanan, Tim Foster, and the lovely, and I always used to call her First Lady of Onslow County, June. Paul's wife. Love June, have loved June all, for years
Yeah, I
and
love
years.
her too.
And so I got to picking on Paul. 'Cause years ago, they had to cut some funding at the college. And June was employed at the college, and it was under that funding. And some people wound up losing their jobs. So I was picking on, and Tim backed me up on that. He said, yeah, I remember that. I said, yeah, he had. I said, Paul Buchanan is a tough guy when he fires his own wife. And I told him, I said, Paul, you do. He said, well, Tim, we couldn't help it. The budget was tight. We had to crunch. We had to cut a few things, and that's just one of the things we had to cut. And she wasn't the only one. I mean, and I understood it. But it took away. I said, y'all, I wouldn't have slept in that house that night when he had fired June. And I said, I asked, first time I ever came up with it. And I said, Paul, have you got your Kevlar underwear handy? You don't
Oh my
wearing that.
gosh, Tim.
And June was laughing and carrying on. We were all having a good time at Paul's expense. We were laughing and joking. But I was glad they showed up. It was a great banquet, and they do it every year. And the preceding master farmers pick an outstanding farmer, or environmental science, such as any kind of agricultural science. And I wanted to say my buddy Alan Trott won this year. He got the nod, and I'm so tickled for Alan. He grew up on a tobacco farm just like I did, and he worked hard. He had a fantastic mom and daddy. I mean, they were farming, but I wanted to say I did pick on Paul. Paul, I'm saying I'm sorry, but I probably don't really mean it. I love you, old buddy, but I try to rag Paul every chance I get. Because he even brought up the story about the timers I bought from him one time. It was at the Farmers Day Parade. I said, I'll bring you the money, and he brought me the timers. And I walked up to him, some county commissioners, they were there. They were getting ready to line. I was lining them up for the parade. And I just walked up to Paul and said, "Dear Paul, there's that campaign money I promised you." And boy, no, that's not what that is. He was explaining, them was for timers. Paul, why you want to cover that up? And, I was just ragging him on. And it really was. I bought a set of timers from him. But I just want to say, Paul, man, you took it like a champ. And I said, call now Royce and Tim jumped on that. Now, poor Mark Price, he didn't say a word, but he was laughing. It did tickle Mark Price to death. I was picking on Paul. But I just wanted to say that this morning. I'm not going to call Robin and pick on him when he gets up because it's his time. But, Robin, I did have to stab at you a little bit. And then, so it's all right. I won't even say what it was, but it was all in fun. But I just want to say, y'all have a great weekend, and I didn't want to put that out there, but it was a fantastic banquet this year.
I heard all about it. I wish I could have been there.
Okay, here's the situation.
Well, it's probably our last.
I did not get a notice. I did not get a notice that a quorum of the county commissioners were going to be at any such event. Did you get a notice?
Well, it was.
I haven't checked my email.
4 out of 7.
I did.
I have not checked my email. Don't start stuff.
Did they take a vote on it?
I voted on it.
I mean, did the commissioners take any votes on anything? Did they
Raver.
discuss any business?
Let's not start stuff.
There weren't no politicking going on. Weren't no meat going on. It was just me ragging a bunch of county commissioners.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I did it real well too.
Thanks, Tim. You just created another issue.
I love verbal hand grenades. They're fun.
I know. Well, there was one more there, but I don't mention their names. I'm not the one say it's not worth mentioning. And they weren't sitting over there with them then. But y'all have a good day.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, and we had a great time. And like
Great.
I love you, Paul. I love you, Paul. Just taking you no collard green eating Yankee.
Oh,
But we'll talk to y'all later.
Yankee.
You do know that he is a reserve police officer and has jurisdiction in the
Oh,
city
I
of
know.
Jacksonville, right?
Well, yeah, and I probably got the same type of revolver that he wore when he first started.
Yeah, but he can arrest you.
Oh, I know.
He can stop you for running that stop sign that you did not see.
Again.
I ain't
Again.
running stop sign. No, I ain't. I think me and Paul has run together for years. We used to run horse shows together and events and horse events.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's a great guy.
Who was a better rider, you or
Yeah.
Paul?
Paul. I will say that. Paul, I weighed about 270 pounds, and Paul about as thin as he is now. Paul, and I give him credit. He could out ride me.
No,
He
gotcha.
really could.
All right.
He was better.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
well, y'all
Timmy.
be good. I'll see you.
Okay,
right.
Trouble.
Bye.
You're live in local real talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris Rainer, your host for Sports Talk. Stay tuned at 9 a.m. today. We'll have Joshua Rojas, the baseball coach at Jacksonville High School, as our guest. He'll be entering his fourth season coaching the Cardinals and he'll be home against Jay Tros on Tuesday, March 5th. We'll hear all about the Diamond Cardinals and their upcoming season later this morning on Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway is Jacksonville's oldest tire company, and now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto or truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone, 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Hi, my name is Michelle Halley, and I'm running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Education. I have lived in Onslow County for over 40 years and have a vested interest in the community and the school system. I want to serve on the Board of Education because I am a firm supporter and believer of public education and wish to work collaboratively with others to support the students, employees of the system, and the community. I believe in developing effective partnerships with all stakeholders to ensure continued success. Together, we can provide the opportunity for an excellent education for all our students. A quality school system is vital to the success of Onslow County. Please use your voice and vote in the upcoming Onslow primary. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you and have a fantastic day. Paid for by the committee to elect Michelle Halley, Board of Education.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Hey, it's time. It's the month of March. How about that? It's Women's Day too, right?
It's Women's History Month.
Yep. Women's History Month. Okay.
We'll talk about
the
it.
whole month. This is the first day of it. So,
Yes.
and spring is less than 3 weeks away. How about that? And in 10 days, 1 week from this Sunday.
Clocks.
Yep.
Change
Moving
the
forward.
clocks.
Moving
Moving
forward
forward.
an hour. Hopefully you have tested your boats by now. Maybe you haven't given it much thought, but a lot of other folks have, and they found their motors weren't working very well. Happens a lot when they're not used for a few months. If you need servicing, don't wait until the last minute. If you do, there's a good chance that you'll miss the entire summer season. Tideline Marine stands ready to help you, but wait no longer. And if you're new to the area, like one gentleman yesterday, he had sold his boat before he left New Hampshire, then moved south all the way down here to Jacksonville. Now he's looking for a new boat so he can take advantage of the waters we have around these parts. Tideline Marine has a great selection of new boats and a few secondhand boats on consignment. Check with the Tideline team. They'll help get you on the water for the first time or get you back on the water in short order. Tideline Marine and Family, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Got a small craft advisory from that will go into effect this evening all the way through Sunday evening. Easterly winds today, 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, 2 to 3 near shore, dominant period 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Tomorrow, southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, gust up to 25 in the morning, seas 6 to 8 feet, even 5 to 6 near shore, dominant period 8 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. And on Sunday, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet, sounds and rivers a light chop.
Okay, not a good day on the water this
Nope.
weekend. Today, a 30% chance of rain mainly after 3 p.m., mostly cloudy with a high near 60. East wind 5 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 21. Tonight, 100% chance of rain, low around 55. Wind 8 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Saturday, an 80% chance of rain, mainly before noon, high near 69. South wind 6 to 10 with gusts as high as 15. And Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 69 and calm winds.
You know, today is Dumb Crook news, and I'll bet you this gentleman just to my left, because we got about 2 minutes before we're going to get into him too. You got a Dumb Crook story from your days. This is Robin, by the way.
I'm sure you have to have.
Yeah, I've got quite a few. Quite a few.
Anyone in particular besides you falling down the steps?
Yeah. I can tell that one. So,
for those who don't know, when he was in CIS working drugs.
yeah, we were working a joint case with Surf City, Wilmington, and Onslow County Sheriff's Office, and I had an undercover. One of my agents was undercover working a case on a young Marine that was supplying some, let's just say, some product.
Yeah, I like it when they call it that.
Yeah, and anyway, we did it was a buy bus operation, and we had a van that was parked about a quarter mile down the road, and my undercover was armed with a well, I shouldn't say armed, but he had a recording device. It was in a key fob. It was also a camera. And so another agent of mine that I work with, Mario Lamone, him and I, it was at Surf City in the centerpiece of the bridge, not the bridge, but the beach.
Yep.
There's a restaurant and everything.
Little pavilion type place there.
So we went across the, there's a boardwalk, but there's some steps. So we went over the steps and we were kind of hiding. and we were there as backup in case the wire failed.
Mhm.
And when the undercover saw the product, he basically gave a phrase that we use. I can't really say what it is.
Yeah.
And he
Key
said,
phrase,
basically, this stuff is really good.
Mhm.
And then that was the key for the arrest team in the van and placed outside the parking lot to come in and converge on the suspect. Well, they didn't hear it. He gave the signal. And with all things with the wire, they go bad sometimes. He couldn't hear it. We couldn't hear it on our radios. And I had my radio hidden with an earpiece. And the suspect started to walk away. And finally, I made a decision at that point because nobody heard it. The teams weren't converging. He was walking away to his car. So I told Mario, I said, we got to do this, man. We got to go now. So we drew our weapons and we came across the steps over the top. And I was going down the step and I was in front of Mario. And
I remember this story.
yeah, there's a recording of it because I
Yes,
did not
it's
know.
on video.
I did not know that they had a recording of it. But anyway, I got to the third step and the third step cracked. And I was running at full speed and it gave. And I was going butt over tea kettle. I was going to hit
Head
the
over
pavement
heels.
face first with my gun. I was going to be embarrassed. And so at the last minute to break my fall, I just did a judo roll
Mhm.
on the concrete. I rolled, my hand hit the pavement really hard, blood going everywhere. I rolled right out of it and ran right towards the suspect. And I'm yelling at him. You know, I had my weapon pointed at him and he was so surprised. He didn't know what was going on. And I'm yelling, police, get on the ground, get on the ground. Blood's coming out of my hand. Mario behind me is laughing as he's yelling police at the same time. Anyway, everybody starts laughing. And I was so upset. You know, I had to handcuff this guy. I had blood all over him. Finally got the handcuffs on him and all these people came out of the restaurant. And you got to remember, there's about 7 or 8 cops in there, undercover cops. They're dying laughing. You know, they're trying to be professional, but they're laughing because it must have been a sight. And I saw the video afterwards because apparently that place is taped regularly by the Surf City PD, and they monitor that area. And I didn't know that. And all of a sudden, as they're coming on the suspect, and I've got him handcuffed, and I'm mad because I'm bleeding everywhere. All these people came out of the restaurant and it got really quiet. And all I remember hearing, it was loud as day, is some lady up there said real loud, and everybody heard it. Did you see that Chinaman do that judo roll?
Ninja roll.
Oh, ninja roll. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Do the ninja roll.
Did you see that Chinaman do that ninja roll? And I looked and everybody busted up laughing. And I'm looking at her as I'm handcuffing this guy. And I said, did she just say ninja roll? And it was embarrassing,
But funny.
but it was smooth because I wasn't going to fall.
Well,
I was going to hit my face
You
on
gotta
the
turn your
concrete.
face up on
I
that.
will say that's not a dumb crook story. That's a dumb cop story.
It is. No, that's a cop story that was for self-preservation because my face would have went into the asphalt.
Wow.
All's well that ends well.
And I just reacted. I just did a roll because I didn't want to hit my head.
Did the bad guy
Ninja
laugh?
roll.
He didn't really laugh. He was more surprised. And I guess he may have laughed when he got in the vehicle. But, I'm sitting there pointing my weapon at him and my hand is bleeding like really bad. It's blood coming out everywhere. And Mario didn't help the case because he's coming up and he was supposed to arrest. We had an informant there too. He was supposed to kind of do a fake arrest of the informant who was on the ground laughing. And my undercover, he was laughing, and he had the key fob in his hand and he was still recording.
Oh,
yeah. But anyway, so my hand was killing me. It was really hilarious. My boss could not believe I did that because he was upstairs watching. He got mad at me and he says, "Did you do that on purpose?" And I looked at him and said, "No, I didn't do that on purpose." I said, "I saved myself." And he goes, "That was some funny blah, blah, blah." He says, "Oh my God, I think we got it on video." And I said, "Yeah, whatever." So I went through that and I got teased and everything about that because I was the ninja who did, or I was the Chinaman that did the ninja.
Could you
role.
imagine the guy being arrested? Probably thought it was like Jackie Chan coming after him, and y'all were doing a movie.
But it was just funny because it got deathly quiet, and that girl comes out and said, "Did you see that Chinaman do that ninja roll?" I mean, really loud. I guess that's what cracked everybody up.
I'm sure it did.
Subsequently, when I retired, I guess I retired maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, had a big retirement party, and next thing I know, they've got this video collage, I guess, of me, of my career and stuff. And the last thing, they put some dramatic, they played Bad Boys. And
that's what I would have done.
And then the next thing I know, they've got this video that they had received, and they put it on this collage. So everybody at my retirement party watched that. And they heard their lady make that comment, and we must have laughed for 15, 20 minutes. I'm sitting here embarrassed at the same time. But when I looked at it, though, I got to admit, it was a smooth roll now.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was smooth.
And we're going to roll right into your election campaign now. How's that?
That's going well.
How about that one for a smooth roll?
That's a good segue. Yeah, I mean, I first ran in 2016, wanted to make some changes in reference to the county and mental health, and get a mental health or substance abuse facility established.
The first aid station.
Yeah, basically that's what it was. And fortunately, I was able to talk to after getting elected in the primary and the general election, I was able to talk to fellow commissioners who agreed and agreed that we needed to get it done. We already had a building in place, so we saved a lot of money using the building that we had that was county owned. And we got some funding, and then we made it into a joint effort with Carteret and Craven County, OMH Hospital, Carteret and Health. And we got it up and running in about 2.5 years. After I took office, and we got the Dix Crisis Center up and running and standing, and now we have the behavioral health urgent care, which is the front portion, which is owned by the county. So we saved a lot of money because we already had a facility in place that wasn't being utilized for anything. And I remember taking a tour when I was running for election right after I won the primary, and everybody told me that the building was caving in and things like that. And I went over there, and that wasn't the case. The building was perfectly intact. It's been sitting there, wasting tax dollars. And finally, we were able to secure funding, and we pushed that, and it's thriving now. And it's a good starting point for mental health issues, because you got to remember, substance abuse and mental health are not the same thing. The Dix Crisis Center is a substance abuse center / mental health. They're two separate entities that intertwine with each other frequently. But the way you treat substance abuse and the way you treat mental health are two separate things, two separate entities all in itself. You can't, what you do for treatment for substance abuse doesn't work for mental health. That's a separate entity all by itself. So, I just wanted to make that point very clear, because, to combat, we're combating mental health as well with substance abuse counselors and things like that and prevention. But with the mental health, you have to have specialized people that are specialists in the mental health career field. They'll dabble a little bit into substance abuse because, like I said, they're intertwined.
Sometimes they go hand in hand.
Exactly. But a lot of the times mental health patients have nothing to do with substance abuse. They're mentally ill. They have issues that have to be dealt with by professionals. And that's kind of a focus it's a focus that I've always had a focus on, is to increase our mental health expansion in terms of treatment and prevention here in Onslow County, and substance abuse as well. And we got to be very careful, because that line is very, very thin. But, like I said before, some of the people that are in substance abuse, with opioids, or whether it be alcohol, because alcohol is a drug, they do suffer some mental health issues as well. So it's really hard to treat, because you have to treat the substance abuse, then you have to treat whatever the mental health illness that they may be suffering from. And those are pretty difficult, and you need specialists to be able to identify that.
Okay. I know what you've done and what you want to do there. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back. Let's talk about some of the other issues that the county is facing right now. Infrastructure. We've got some very old parts of the county, water, sewer, not so much county control, but we do have a lot of areas that are under county control that need attention, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
On the next Goddard's Gold, 60s soul and some of the best from Ray Charles, Otis Redding, Young Holt Unlimited, Lee Dorsey, James Brown, the Four Tops, Jackie Wilson, the Delphonics, Platters, Sam and Dave, Sam Cooke. Woo! Music, stories, and interviews, the best of the 60s soul. Next Gold, Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 a.m. WSME.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
This is Robin Knapp, current Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. I'm also a United States Air Force veteran and a retired special agent with NCIS. During the past 8 years, I have never faltered from my stance not to raise taxes or the tax rate, and I voted no the last time we voted on taxes. It is imperative that we continue to strive toward more conservative spending and utilize the funds that we have more efficiently and effectively. Despite our current economic status nationally, we must do everything we can to spend funds wisely, conservatively, and uniquely as we continue to grow as a community. The needs of our citizens and their voices need to be heard because as a commissioner, I represent all of you, regardless of political affiliation, religious beliefs, gender, race, and etc. In the last 8 years, I have shown strong and candid leadership, direction, and fortitude in voicing my opinions and voting without outside influence from others or groups, only voting my conscience and what I feel is best for the citizens and not for me. Please vote for me once again as one of your county commissioners. This message was paid for by the committee to re-elect Robin Knapp.
I am Paul Buchanan, running for re-election as an Onslow County Commissioner. No false promises, just a firm commitment to serve the citizens of this county to the best of my ability. As a county, we face many challenges ahead. Navigating through those challenges requires seasoned, dedicated leadership. Your voice is an important part of the government of this county. I will continue to make sure your voice is heard. I will continue to do my very best to serve all the citizens of Onslow County. My goal is to provide the maximum support, vital services in this county possible. With the realities of the resources available, let us work together to make our county the best it can be. Every election is determined by the people who show up. I ask for your continued support and your vote on Tuesday, March 5th, paid for by the candidate.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back. Robin Knapp, candidate for re-election to the Onslow County Board of Commissioners, is in the studio with us, and we're just looking at some video that he was just talking about. So we'll pick up on that a little bit later on. Robin, issues in the county, mental health is a big one. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there's got to be others, infrastructure or whatever. What else are you looking at?
Well, one of the things that, there's a big misconception out there that the county commissioners raised taxes. We did not raise taxes. We lowered the tax rate. Unfortunately, because of the mandate under North Carolina General Statute that we're required to have an outside company come in or entity to do an appraisal, we lowered the tax rate from 70.5 cents per $100 to 65.5 cents per $100. And we did that in an effort to ease the appraisal results, because the appraisal was all across the board. We have to have an appraisal once every 8 years. We decided in the county, a decision made by a previous board from the one that I first came on, to do it every 4 years instead of every 8 years, because the sticker shock would be great. You go from one year and then 8 years later, things can dramatically change. So we did it at the midway point, and their decision was to do it during the midway point so that we could adjust better. And the impact, if the appraisals went up, wouldn't be as expensive. So we had the appraisal done in, I believe it was 2020. We had the appraisals done by the outside company, and some of the tax or some of the property were reevaluated and some of the values increased. Some places remained the same, some places decreased in value. Regardless of that, because of that, since the value had increased with many of the homes here and the properties, that increased the tax rate. And in other words, it increased their property taxes, and we tried to offset that by lowering the tax rate to 65.5. And we're still looking at this particular issue, and we're trying. A lot of the commissioners, we want to lower the tax rate even less, from 65.5 to get as close as we can to 60 cents to $1, whatever it is. We got to make sure that we have people out there that are on fixed incomes and retirement annuities every month. They're not getting a cost of living allowance, and we've got to make sure that we protect them. Because as their rates go up, they're not getting any extra money, and they have to pay more for their property taxes. But as commissioners, we did not raise that property tax. The appraisal did that, and we tried to reduce the tax rate. And a lot of people think, I had a lady at the polls, told me that you raised my property tax. And I said, no, ma'am, I did not. And she said, yes, you did. And I said, okay, well, have a nice day. I wasn't going to argue with you because she was wrong. But, you get a little bit of information saying that we raised the property taxes, and we did not. We tried to lower the tax rate. So we're focused in on that right now. And, with the budget coming up and with some of the things that we're trying to do, we're trying to do whatever we can to reduce the tax rate. And I think that's important. Because I think right now, Jacksonville City, because I pay city taxes as well, we're at 65.5. I think Jacksonville's at 60 cents per $100 when I looked at my tax bill. And so it's a hard process. It's a process that we have to scrutinize. It's a process that we have to keep our fingers on and do whatever we can to reduce that tax rate. And, I never voted for a tax increase. We had a tax increase in 2018, and I voted against it. And subsequently, the commissioners voted for it. So be it. They voted for it. That was the board's decision at the time. It wasn't my decision. And I've opposed the tax rate increase every single time, because I think there's alternative ways to get our other external revenue sources that we need to explore. And hopefully we'll be able to do that soon.
I would assume that with the growth of Onslow County, we got more people every year moving in here, right? And more people that therefore will be paying property taxes. They're
Correct.
building new homes. Every place you turn around, they're building a new home or new businesses going in. And those people generate money. I know if they move in here with a family, it's going to cost money to build more schools. Right. But everybody moving in should generate enough money to offset any other issues that we're having.
Right.
Should it not?
I agree with you. And, and the thing is, we are a growing community. We're expanding, obviously. The population of Onslow is increasing as each day passes by. And so we have to keep our finger on the pulse, so to speak, and we have to continue to watch this. And we have to continue with our growth. We have to expand, but we have to be very conservative about it. We have to be very attentive to, how we expand that. And, but at the same time, it's really difficult because you have to monitor what the tax rate is. And, that's why we keep a healthy fund balance. We keep a healthy fund balance in the event that something goes wrong. If something goes wrong, we're going to need something that we need to pay salaries or whatever it might be. And that's why our health balance is so healthy right now. It's a big health fund balance, and it's a great feeling to have a very healthy fund balance, knowing that if we run into a predicament or an emergency or anything like that, we have funds to pay our employees to meet our emergency situation, whatever it may be, a hurricane or whatever it might be. And so those are the things that we're focused on, at least I am, as far as the commissioner is concerned and other commissioners when we go into the budget cycle.
Okay.
I wasn't laughing at you. I just saw your ninja roll.
You saw the ninja roll?
Yes.
Yes. Is that what did they? You had a text from somebody that said.
Yeah, let me explain that to you. Donnie, that's not the ninja roll we're talking about.
I just saw you roll down the stairs.
I'm talking about Donnie and his ninja roll sushi. That's not what we're talking about, Donnie. But I appreciate it, brother. Love you.
Let's take a break here. Live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
Freedom 97.1.
Hello, Richlands Piggly Wiggly shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many more at your locally owned and operated Richlands Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down the street, Highway 24 in Richlands. Fresh fire leg quarters, 59 cents a pound, sold in 10-pound bags. Whole fresh picnic, just 99 cents a pound. Boneless fire breast, just $1.99 a pound. Baby back pork ribs, $2.59 a pound. Over in produce, you get 2 3-pound bags of small Yukon, gold, or red potatoes for just $5. Fresh blueberries are only $3.99 a pint. Also enjoy down-home country cooking in the deli 7 days a week in the store. Dine in or take out, featuring hot, fresh chicken that will make you smile. The country breakfast starts at 5:30 a.m. daily. Your Richlands Piggly Wiggly Deli is home to the famous Merle Bowl. You can also take advantage of the fast, friendly pharmacy located inside the Richlands Piggly Wiggly. Richlands Piggly Wiggly, down the street. Highway 24 Richlands, where good things cost less. Remember, say big with the pig.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
In planning for Onslow County's future, finding the right balance between progress and preservation is key. We aim to support growth without sacrificing our agricultural heritage and strong neighborhoods. To make sure we grow responsibly, let's use new taxes wisely. This means tackling challenges like improving essential services, protecting the environment, and ensuring quality education. Tony Padgett stands out as the sole candidate with a unique combination of experience, having served both as a Board of Commissioners chairman and a dedicated employee of Onslow County. A lifelong resident of Onslow County, Tony's unwavering commitment to public service is marked by utmost honor and dedication. He advocates for a streamlined yet robust local government that prioritizes the well-being of Onslow County citizens. Choose Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner, a visionary leader planning for our community's future. paid for by Tony Patchett for Onslow Commissioner.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we got a question or two here from the public that have sent some messages in, and one of them involves term limits for county commissioners, state office, state elected people, federal elected people. There are term limits in some cases, like the president,
Correct.
the governor. State legislators, no. Congressmen, no. U.S. congressmen, U.S. senators, no. County commissioners, I don't know of any term limits in North Carolina. Do you?
No, I'm not aware of any.
Okay.
Term limits, as far as the president of the United States is concerned, I definitely believe in term limits, and I believe in term limits to a certain extent. What's the cap? Is it 8 years? Is it 12 years? What's the cap? If I'm running for my third term.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm honored to be elected by the people, it'll be my last term. Because I've already told my wife, if I do it another subsequent 4 years, at the end of this 4-year period, I'll be done. Now, I can say that now, but it depends on what kind of issues that we come up with, because I can't predict the future. And one of the things that I'm very big on is, number one, we need to have consistency on the board. We have to have some experience on the board. We had that with Jack, and then Jack retired. We have that with Paul. We have that with a couple of other commissioners that have been on the board for at least 1 or 2 terms. I've been on the board for 2 terms, and the experience matters. We get newcomers that come in that want to do something, and I think that's great. They want to step up to the plate. But it's going to take you at least 2 to 3 years to get acclimated as a commissioner. When I first came on in 16, it took me a year and a half to fully understand what the process of being a commissioner, what I thought was a process and what I didn't. That what wasn't the process. And
Kelly.
So the thing is that, I know I've argued with Theo in a very friendly way. He talks about the term limits, and I know you're listening, Theo. And he tried to tell me that I said 2 terms, and I never said that. I said, it's up to the individual. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, it's, this will be my 3rd term if I'm honored to be reelected by the public. And I intend to do the best I can. And at the end of that 4 years, that'll be it. I think for me personally, if I get elected, it'll be total of 12 years. And that's enough. That's enough time for me. Yeah. And I'll move on to something else.
Kelly, what's up?
I'm calling to reiterate that if Robin is blessed enough to get reelected for this thing, this will be his last term as commissioner upon reelection.
That's cool. I'm going to insert something here, and I know what Robin said. In case you never know what's going to happen, there are things like major setbacks in a county. You could have a major hurricane sweep through here that we probably will need some experience on the board, and you don't want 7 new commissioners, which you won't get all at one time anyway, but even 4 or 3 would be a bit of a hassle.
One of the things that, and oh, by the way, Kelly, thank you for sending that video.
It's been irritating.
I did not send the video. I just told them where it was.
Well, she's been dying laughing. Like
she's crying.
She's crying. But
you got to give him props. He held that gun in his hand. It never dropped.
Nope, he didn't.
I love the way
when he rolled.
When he completed his role, he just jumped right back up and kept going.
He did.
I did that because
like something out of a cartoon.
Well,
and I want to say one more thing, Rayford. I'm angry with you. I just want you to know.
With who?
You.
Why?
You did not warn me how bad that Hampstead traffic was going to be.
Kelly did. Lee did.
Yeah. I told
I
you.
didn't think it was this bad.
Oh,
I apologize for not believing you, because I'm going to tell you what. Anybody that lives in Jacksonville or in Onslow County has to drive to Wilmington every day to commute, I have some major respect for them, because this will give you road rage. It is horrific.
I know it.
I'm not going to hijack Robin's time, but I just wanted to reiterate that if Robin is lucky enough to get reelected for this will be his first term. That's what I'm saying. So,
well, good luck down there.
Oh yeah.
Give my regards to the traffic police.
I will. Yeah. Yes, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, now getting back to what she was saying, and like what you said, Rayford, there are some issues, but you need to have continuity. For example, we had Jack for so many years.
Yes.
And I tell you what, Jack, when I first got elected in the primary, Jack took us, all the newly elected and the people that were incumbents, and we had a meeting. And basically, he discussed the roles of a commissioner. He offered his assistance. He offered his help. I didn't expect that from him as a newcomer to the board back in 2016, but he took us and we all met, and we had questions, and he was there. Paul was there, and all the sitting incumbents helped the new guys on the board. At that time, it was myself, it was Mark Price, it was Royce Bennett. And I was impressed. I still remember that to this day.
That brings up a good point. I think that anyone who wants to run for county commission or for city council, in that fact, but anyone who wants to run for an elected position like that, sitting on a board, that the existing chairman, before they sign on the dotted line to say, I'm going to run, if they're sitting there thinking about it, maybe they should all attend a meeting. And explain to them what their duties are and what they cannot do.
And that's what that Jack did. I'll never forget that.
I mean, before they even sign up to run.
And when he did that, it kind of enlightened me, and it gave me a perspective of what my responsibilities were as a county commissioner. And then as you get into the meetings and things of that nature, you got your agenda. You have all your agenda items, and everything on that agenda is important, even though it seems boring to a lot of people. But like for example, rezoning issues, that's important to the people. Very, very important. And we've had some major rezoning issues. But the thing about being a commissioner, though, is we're one of 7 people that make up the board. We operate as one entity, but we all have our separate voices. And what I've done for the last 8 years, and I'm proud of myself for this, that I've been very consistent in my voting and very consistent in my philosophy. When I get on that board to vote for something, I'm not going to be voting because I've been pressured by an interest group. I've been pressured by individuals, or this is what you should vote for, blah, blah, blah. I'll do that. I'll take what you have to say into consideration. If I agree with you, then I agree with you. If I don't, I don't. And I make it very clear on the board. You know me, I'm very candid. I'm very straight up. You'll know what my opinion is. And if you don't, I'll explain my opinion as to why I voted that way. And that's what I've always done for the last 8 years. And I want to continue to do for the next 4, because I think the voting public appreciates that. They appreciate you being honest and voting your opinion and not being pressured to vote a certain particular way.
Good.
But that's the other thing. I want to run for I want to be a commissioner again for the next 4 years, because there's some things that I want to make sure that we get done or get moving in the right direction. And our current board right now, we work very well together. We're all Republicans. We all have different opinions, but we work together very well. And I want to continue to see that as we progress in the future, because right now we're going through our budget cycle, which is going to be important. And we got other issues that are going to be up and coming. We're looking at the sport complex, things like that. And at the same time, got to keep our eye on the tax rate. We are really trying to lower that tax rate to help offset the expenses, but you can't do anything about the expenses. When COVID hit, it changed our economy.
It did.
Changed it big time. And if you go to the grocery store now, I mean, what you paid $10 for a year ago is almost a quarter of what you only get a quarter of that now.
Yep.
Dog food, everything from the simplest things have gone up in price.
I will say, you were talking about the increase in property values because of the 4-year assessment. Pitt County just did the same thing. They opted for the 4-year, and it has a lot of people concerned because the property values in Pitt County went up. I mean, they went up everywhere.
Yeah, and the thing is, we get blamed. We get blamed for that as commissioners when we have absolutely nothing to do.
We've got to blame somebody.
Well, I know, and that's what we get. So that's what we signed up for, and I get that. And we get the blame. But when you tell somebody that you raised my property taxes, no, ma'am, the appraisal increased the value of your particular property. We lowered the tax rate. We don't control.
I will tell those who think that they're paying too much, or that their house was valued and revalued and it's higher than you think it's worth, then you have a right to appeal that.
That's right.
Right.
All the way to the county commissioners.
And the thing about it is, if I was to sell my house right now, I would make like 100% profit over what I originally bought it for.
But then you turn around and try to buy something else.
Yeah. No,
But
I'm
you're-
living in a
If your
RV.
$300,000 from your home sale of your home
Okay.
doesn't carry the same weight as it did 4 years ago.
I think I'm just going to buy an RV and then move around.
You know, it's like I get that in the car.
Keep hiding.
I get that in the car business too. You know, they talk
Right.
about. In fact, I was dealing with an individual yesterday. Yeah, people talk about interest rates. You know, we have no control over the interest rates. You know, the federal government sets the standard for the prime interest rate, and then guess what? The banks subsequently follow that within 3 to 4 days, and they adjust their interest
And they
rates.
can make it whatever they want to.
Exactly. And
Did
so
we do
when people
Fox?
say, you know,
Fox.
I know we're going to do Fox right
Oh,
now.
I was say, did we do it?
No.
but anyway,
All right.
Got it.
I'll continue that.
Thanks, sir. Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME. A 60-second Fox News break now.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump both visited the southern border yesterday, 300 miles apart. The men seemed to agree that illegal migration is an issue, but disagreed on who's to blame.
This is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had.
But President Biden said his hands are tied after the failure of a bipartisan border package on Capitol Hill, addressing Trump directly.
You know, and I know, it's the toughest, most efficient, most effective border security bill this country has ever seen. So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done?
Meanwhile, the funeral for 22-year-old Laken Riley is going to be held today in her hometown of Woodstock, Georgia. Her accused killer is an illegal Venezuelan migrant. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
And Real Talk is what we are. Our studio guest is Robin Knapp, and he's running for re-election, Onslow County Board of Commissioners.
I have
Third
a
term.
question.
You have a question.
Yes, I do. If reelected, what is something that you would like to work on? What's your goals?
I've got several
What are
goals.
your goals?
I've got several goals, and you know, one of the things that I've stressed again is the tax rate.
Right.
I'm deeply concerned about that. I want to decrease it as much as we possibly can, but at the same time to keep our fund balance healthy as it is. You know, one of the things that we're expanding as a county, and our services that we offer through our budget, like peers and things like that, are very important. But you know, we have to make sure that we have compensation for our county employees. The county employees are the backbone of our county. They're the backbone of our community. And we have to make sure we keep qualified individuals in positions, and we have to make sure that they are properly adjusted as far as their salaries and things like that. You know,
Right.
looking at fair market values for their job, fair market adjustment values, looking at COLA increases. We have to do that because it's easier to keep these people than to find new people and retrain them, because you can't
That's more costly.
what it is, and you can't explain, you can't replace experience.
Right.
And we've got some very experienced and talented people in the county. The other thing too is, you know, we need to look at our animal control system here, our animal control office. There's some things and policies that we need to review, look at things and how to improve our animal control resources out there, because, you know, we got a lot of animals in Onslow County. We got a lot of animals, whether it's from dogs, cats, to livestock, you know, and things of that nature. And I think we can do a better job with animal control as far as our policy is concerned. Try to do better with our response time, you know, when people are asking for animal control officers, and probably look at trying to increase their budget somewhat, you know, to give them the tools. We, as commissioners, we have to give them the tools and the funding necessary to keep them trained and to keep them doing their job. And so that's going to be a focus. One of my focuses too is on the animal control.
Oh, speaking of animals,
She just jumped up on my lap. There you go. Kind of scared me. Thought she was going to do a roll. But, you know, so those are some of the things that I'm looking at. And, you know, to continue the transparency, I keep hearing a lot of people talk about transparency. Transparency is a word that is different for every individual. And I tell you right now, in the last 8 years, I don't know how more transparent we can be. And I've tried to increase that transparency, especially during COVID. You know, people, what gets me is, you know, as a commissioner, it's my job during a storm or a hurricane or a disaster or a pandemic is to keep the public informed. That's my job. And I took it upon myself personally to do that. And when I was doing the COVID report, I had so many people that didn't want the COVID report, but on a side note, I had 10 times more that appreciated the COVID report because they got a report. They knew what areas of the county were infected. And those are things that we as a commissioner, or I try to do and try to be as transparent as we possibly can. And I think that's important as a commissioner. You need to reach out to the people. But when it comes to transparency, I just don't know how much more transparent we can be. We advertise our meetings, we broadcast them. We do a lot of things to let the public know what the status is of our government.
Okay, we got a caller. Phil, is that you?
Yes.
Hey, you got a question?
Yes. Well, he answered one about the animal control.
Okay.
I want to say thanks for your service and everything. You have our vote.
Thank you.
What do you think about? I don't agree with it. About they have like these little test strips for check to see if someone has fentanyl. In their drugs that they just purchased.
So you're saying, I didn't understand what you said, Phil. They have these test strips?
They have like test strips that you could test your drugs that you're getting ready to take to see if it has fentanyl.
Okay.
A lot of police department back home, they're giving them out to know drug addicts where they know, hey, you need to test it beforehand because it won't have fentanyl.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Aren't you kind of enabling the drug?
I'm sorry, Phil, when you said test strips, I was thinking, you know, being a narc for most of my career, you know, like Becton Dixon test kits that we used to use for presumptive positive, where whether it be marijuana.
No, it's like,
so this is for drug addicts to test
their dope.
To make sure
their
their dope
so they
is
don't have
okay.
fentanyl in it.
Yeah.
Lord. How do I feel about that? Wow. It goes back to the days of when we were giving, goes back to the days.
I agree.
That goes back to the days where they're giving clean needles and syringes to heroin addicts.
Yep.
Yes.
As a cop, as a Republican, I don't believe in that whatsoever. I don't know. Why are we giving test strips?
It's encouraging
to
illegal activity.
Addicts. Yeah, it's encouraging their addiction. It's encouraging them. Hey, look, if you're going to take dope, whatever you're doing, use this to be safe. You know, and
the city board, the town board they're approving it and all this and that. That's the reason why I'm asking.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it came up, I can tell you right now, based on what I know, if it came up to the county commissioners, I'd be one person being very vocally against that.
And I guarantee you there's going to be one more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think there'll be a couple more.
Yeah,
I don't think the sheriff will ever do that.
Oh, I know Chris Thomas real well, and the answer is no.
As a narc, no, he would not.
Yeah.
That's what, and I was trying to explain to people. I said it's a bad idea, and they said why. I said it's encouraging them to do it anyways.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and like you said, it encourages people. You know, that's kind of like rewarding them. Look, hey, we don't want you to die. We know you're going to take your dope. Use this test strip to. No, I don't like that idea whatsoever. And if it ever came up before the Board of Commissioners, I'd be adamantly against something like that. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, Phil. Appreciate you, bro.
That's kind of like handing out samples of Narcan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had an issue with that. I mean, I understand the concept.
Using it, as a first aid guy,
Right.
or responding to it, or as a cop being a first responder, you got to have it. You got to try to do
I agree
whatever.
with that.
But for just selling it to them or giving it to them so that it can get high and know they can just overdose and come back home,
No,
no, sorry.
Yeah, those are some like this test kit that Phil just brought up. I mean, I'm actually trying to wrap that around my head right now as we're sitting there talking about it. And I'm just to me, the stupidity of that. Like you said, it's encouraging people, to use dope, and it's like, I don't think any old narc that's been in narcotics for a long time would advocate that whatsoever. I guarantee you they wouldn't.
Not at all.
No.
That's crazy.
Okay.
But
All right, sir. Thank you.
yes, sir. I appreciate
your time. I know you got to go to work, make a living.
Best of luck.
I gotta
Oh, that's
take,
right. You got to go to the
Gotta
doctor.
take mama to the doctor.
I got to take my mother-in-law to the doctors, and then I head to work. But I just wanted to tell the voters out there. First of all, I want to thank all of you for your continued support for the last 8 years. I want to thank you for your friendship. And the early election is ongoing right now until this Saturday, and then the primary is March 5th. I encourage everybody to get out there and vote, regardless of your political affiliation. Vote for your candidate. And I truly hope that many of you will go out and vote for me for re-election as a county commissioner. I want to roll it back one more time. There's some things that I want to do, and I hope in the last 8 years I've proven my strong leadership ability and my candidness and my honesty. And I would appreciate your vote, and I'd appreciate everybody getting out to vote on March 5th.
Got one more caller.
All right.
Guess who?
Theo.
Good morning, deplorables.
Theo, how are you, sir?
Theo. This is your song. You got to know when to move. Know when to fold up.
Theo.
Know when to walk away. Know when to run. You never count your... Okay. You got that?
He's got it.
I got it.
All right. Why I'm saying that, just to explain myself, is there's a lot of quarterbacks that leave in their field and they're the top, and then they decide to come back, and when they come back, they can even get hurt or have a bad record and leaves a blemish on their record, right?
I guess.
Except for Tom Brady.
Okay. Well, Tom Brady didn't play that well on his last couple of years or last year.
Well, I remember him leaving the Patriots, winning several Super Bowls, coming to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I remember it because that's my favorite team. Telling my wife, because she was mad that he left, and I said, he's gonna not only is he gonna win the playoffs, he's gonna win the Super Bowl and be the Super Bowl MVP. And sure enough, that's what happened.
So, just saying that you leave on top, people remember you that way. And if you keep going, things could happen. I'm not saying they will. Could happen and blemish somebody's name. But anyway, why I called was to wish you luck.
Thank you.
That's nice.
And on Tuesday, and good luck with you're a model politician. I've known you for the 8 years that you ran. I know the kind of guy you are, and you're a very good person. And I want you to. I just want to wish you luck on Tuesday, and I love you, and good luck. We'll see. We'll talk Wednesday.
That's a huge endorsement.
Well, he just never.
Theo,
talks to me like
I tell you
that.
what, I appreciate that. I love you too, bro. And I still remember the time we were down in Swansboro eating, and we may have different viewpoints, but I respect your opinion. I respect what you say.
We all broke bread together.
And and that means a lot to me, and I consider you a good friend. I still remember seeing you at the dealership, and I figured it was you. Remember?
Yeah.
And I sat out there and talked with you and your wife, and I love you too, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And one more thing before I go, Tim. Now I know you don't call me anymore because you're too busy doing the politician thing, huh? Okay, I see a little brown on your nose, baby.
Ooh. Who's that to, me or to Tim?
No, Tim. I'm talking about Tim. He don't call his friends, but he's always organizing and with the politicians over there and giving a big word for Paul Buchanan, huh?
Hey, I think Tim, you'll probably get a phone call from Tim.
No, probably about the time you hang up.
Tim.
And one thing I do want to say, because I know Tim's listening, I knew he called in earlier from the Donkey Man. This is the Asian Cajun, and I love that name. And you tease me all day long about that.
I'm changing it to China Roman.
Ninja Roll.
A Ninja Roman, yes.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
Bye.
Hey, thank you.
All right, brother. Any river, anytime.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. People don't understand that phrase, but amen.
They don't need to.
That's right.
You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Weather is coming up shortly.
Hey, this is Chris Rainer, your host for Sports Talk. Stay tuned at 9 a.m. today. We'll have Joshua Rojas, the head baseball coach at Jacksonville High School, as our guest. He'll be entering his fourth season coaching the Cardinals and he'll be home against Jay Troze on Tuesday, March 5th. We'll hear all about the Diamond Cardinals and their upcoming season later this morning on Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit SouthernTouchPaintingNC.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties. If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
North Carolina is built on hard work, perseverance, and the spirit of innovation. I'm here to keep our state on the right track. Hi, I'm John Hardister. I'm running to be your next labor commissioner. With decades of experience in business and in public service, I have a proven track record of bringing jobs, quality education, and workforce development to North Carolina. As your labor commissioner, I will champion the issues that matter most to you and your family. I'm John Hardister, and I'm asking for your vote in the primary election on March 5th. This ad is paid for by John Hardister from NC.
Meet John Davis, a dedicated leader with a vision for Onslow County. As the mayor of Swansboro for 6 years, John has worked with people to make things happen. Now he's ready to work with you to make improvements in the county we all call home. John's platform is built on the foundations of real change. Your voice is at the center of that change. As a champion for veterans and their families, John will continue to collaborate with local, state, and national leaders to improve the lives of the veterans we love in our communities. Onslow County residents need expanded options for mental health and addiction treatment and family support. John needs your help to bring options for hope and healing to our neighbors, friends, and loved ones in need. Emergency response capability is critical to our county, and John values your input as efforts continue to ensure the safety and well-being of every resident. John is a champion for economic development and job creation. You know the jobs we need, and he wants to bring them here. Let's strive to build a thriving, prosperous community for all. Together, we can build a brighter future for Onslow County. Vote John Davis for Onslow County Commissioner. Leadership, vision, and commitment for a better tomorrow.
Paid for by the committee to elect John Davis.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's time. It's the 1st of March now. Spring coming up in 3 weeks, and daylight savings time's right around the corner coming up next weekend. Not weekend, next weekend. So it's time to start thinking about those longer days in the evenings and maybe cruising down the New River or the White Oak River, going for a sunset cruise or going for a late afternoon fishing trip. You got to have a boat. You need a boat. If you got one and you haven't used it since last year, you better get out there and get that sucker running. And first of all, if you've got old gas in it from last year, don't start it up.
No.
Just dump it. Dump the gas. You'll be better off.
Right.
Even if you treated it by now, if you have not run that thing since last year, you're gonna screw stuff up. And if you don't get it in for servicing or for repairs, if you need them, pretty soon you're gonna miss the summertime. You can rest assured of that. Now, Tideline Marine is standing by. They're there for you, but they can't do but so much. God only helps those who help themselves. You know that, right? So you get on down to Tideline and they'll help you out. If you need a new boat, maybe you've just moved to the area, they got new boats. They got some secondhand boats on consignment. Check with the Tideline team. They'll get you on the water for the first time or get you back on the water in short order. Tideline Marine and Family, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Small craft advisory will be in effect from this evening through Sunday evening. Messes up this weekend on the water, sort of. Easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore, dominant period 5 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Today is a pretty good day if you want to go out. Saturday, tomorrow, southerly winds in the morning 10 to 15, gust to 25 later in the day. Seas going to be big, or 6 to 8 feet. Dominant period 8 seconds, sounds and rivers only a moderate chop. So you can still do your trout fishing and your redfish fishing, red drum fishing. Let's do that. In the rivers and in the creeks and whatever, down New River or White Oak River. Northeasterly winds on Sunday, 5 to 10, seas 4 to 6 feet, 3 to 4 near shore, sounds and rivers a light chop.
And today we have a 30% chance of rain, mainly after 3 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a high near 60. East winds 5 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 21. Tonight, 100% chance of rain, low around 55. East wind 8 to 10 with gusts as high as 15 miles per hour. Saturday, 80% chance of rain, mainly before noon, high near 69. Saturday night, slight chance of rain. And Sunday, partly cloudy with a high near 69. And Rayford, since it's going to be a rainy weekend, I agree. Get your boat out, take it down there to Tideline Marine.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and have it serviced and have it ready for the summer.
Sooner you get it in, the sooner you get it back.
There's going to be a line.
Those are the rules, and there will
That's
be a
right.
line. If you've got, be sure you charge your batteries before you come down, so you don't get charged for Tideline having to charge your batteries. It is manpower involved, and that'd be part of the problem. So do what you can to make it easy, cheaper for yourself.
Right. Did you hear about the Onslow County Sheriff's Office has introduced a new program now? It's called Project Lifesaver.
No.
It's an international organization that partners with local agencies to better assist people who are at risk of wandering away from their homes, such as elderly with Alzheimer's or dementia, children with severe autism, and those with traumatic brain injuries. The Project Lifesaver kits come equipped with a 60-day transmitter and 6 replacement batteries, allowing the kit to last for a full year. Also included is a daily battery tester, which can be used by the caretaker daily to ensure that the battery is functioning properly. And this is recovery times for agencies participating in Project Lifesaver averages 30 minutes, which is 95% less time than the standard operations without. So anybody who would like to know more information on this can call the Onslow County Sheriff's Office at 910-455-3113. But this is something that's really great that you can apply for and be a part of the program. That way, if you have a loved one who wanders off, you can easily track them.
Yeah.
Great program.
That's a good program.
And I'd say thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir. You betcha. The week of March 3rd through the 9th, that begins on Sunday, is designated as Severe Weather Preparedness Week in North Carolina. The link for North Carolina partners to share is www.weather.gov/. We'll put it on our website.
Yes, I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah. Do you see where it is? I'll give you the link there in just a minute.
All right.
Includes the same suite of severe weather and flooding safety information. Please also share any social media we push out during that week they're requesting. The North Carolina statewide tornado drill is scheduled for Wednesday, next Wednesday on the 6th at 9:30 in the morning. Please make sure any no weather radios have new batteries. I've got to go buy me a new weather radio
I
because
need a
mine
new one.
just died.
Mine doesn't work half the time.
Well,
Never
mine-
has.
Mine always has, and just recently it's just given up the ghost. It's not picking up the signal like it should. So anyway,
Yes,
I will
I
have
have
a
that
new one.
problem
That's okay. But I also have a radio that's got a ham radio that's got it on it. So it goes off periodically. Okay, what else we got going on? At the amateur radio, ham radio guys, Thursday night, they've got a special. You got to sign up for it. You don't have to be a ham, but they
Okay.
amateur radio operator. You
Right.
don't have to be one licensed. But if you have an interest in severe weather, you'd like to be a weather spotter. If you go to the National Weather Center, National Weather Service in Moorhead, and you just scroll down to the part that it says, "Hey, want to be a spotter, a weather spotter?" You can sign up for it, take a course, and the class is going to be the one in Onslow County is going to be next Wednesday.
Okay.
They've got them in other areas as well. Next Thursday. So I've already signed up.
That sounds interesting.
And I took an on-the-air pre-test last night.
You did?
Yeah, I got them all right except one.
We
I
need
was
to
a
get
smart
the
aleck.
ham radio club in here.
Yeah, we're going to get them in here
Be
one of these days soon.
interesting.
Yeah, they one of the last question asked, how do you designate the size of hail if you're a weather spotter? How's it classified? So smart aleck me answered with a caliper. That's
With a
not
what?
a caliper. It's something that measures sizes of stuff.
Oh,
But no, there's several designations. One of them is pea-size hail. Another one is golf ball size hail,
okay.
baseball size hail. I think they got like 5 different ones. So anyway, I've got to brush up on those. But pea-size hail, I've heard them say that. And golf ball size hail, we've always heard them say that. And then those humongous thing, baseball size hail.
That's what I said. If I could ever had the chance to go back and redo my career all over again, I'd want to be a meteorologist because I love the weather. I love studying the weather. I
You could
love
be one of them
following-
weather girls.
Yeah, radio weather girl. But I love following the weather and tracking storms. Been doing that for years and use a lot of different resources. And it's just interesting. I just find it fascinating.
It is. And I learned a whole lot by working in TV and being a news director and having to hire meteorologists. And I would go to one of the guys, particularly one that I really like, George Elliott. I had him down at WECT, and he used to work at the Weather Channel, and he also wrote a textbook that they use in teaching meteorology.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, the guy is cool, and he showed me on radar how to look for things.
Right.
So because we had radar, whatever, but he showed me what to look for and directions, and he taught me more stuff about what causes severe weather.
It's interesting. And I've been trying to talk my granddaughter. She's going to Appalachian State next fall this coming fall. And I was asking her, I said, why don't you go meteorology? And she was just about there, but she just recently changed her mind. So I was like, darn, that was my opportunity to run storms with her.
Yeah.
It was all about me.
I've never seen a tornado. I've seen
I can
water
honestly
spouts,
say
which
yes.
are tornadoes at
I've
sea.
never seen a tornado. No.
Well, no.
On video, maybe.
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
but I'm talking about.
Sometimes I follow some of those weather companies, weather organizations live on YouTube during bad storms.
Yes,
And
the weather
watch
chasers.
the weather chasers.
Oh my
and,
God!
man, I'm getting all tensed up, like turn around, go back the other way.
I knew one. He lived in Leland, and he would do that. And we were a sponsor of his, and he would go wherever the storms were, hurricanes or big tornadoes coming, all that sort of good stuff. He'd chase those suckers, and one of them got him one time, destroyed his vehicle. And he had to shake. He said it was an experience.
It's like that movie Twister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cow.
Woo! Steak on the hoof, steak in the air. So anyway, yep. North Carolina and South Carolina severe weather preparedness awareness week begins this Sunday.
Yep. It's to ensure people are prepared for when bad weather hits.
Yeah, and pay attention to it. NOAA Weather Radio. I know you've got the cell phone stuff, but those things can fail. NOAA Weather Radio, tune it into not just, you can program it so you don't hear them all across the state. You know, you can program it just for Onslow County.
Right.
I program mine for Onslow, Carteret, and Pender counties, the directions where weather would be coming from.
Yes.
So if it's coming eastward and it's over there in Pender County somewhere, chances are we're gonna get it.
You were coming back from Wilmington. What was that, a month ago?
Yeah.
And that's when we had the outbreak of severe storms. And you know, I would call you, where you at? Because there's a tornado warning for such and such. You go, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then a little while
I was
later,
in New
I'd call you,
Hanover County.
where are you now? Because there's a tornado warning for you. Well, that's where I'm at. And I don't know how you made it back.
Well, it was one of them was behind me. I just left a chiropractor in Wilmington, and he was about 5 miles away, and that's when that alert was coming down. And then I started, when I got closer to our ham towers where I could hear it, there was one at Surf City warning. And so I was at Holly Ridge. So it's like really
It was
weird,
crazy. It
which
was
I
crazy.
heard the calls on that one. My. Okay, why don't we take a quick break here? If you guys have got something you want to chat about, now's your turn. 910-333-0139, 910-333-0139. Don't forget, coming up right after this show, and after Fox News break at the top of the hour, it's going to be Sports Talk.
Yes, it
And
is.
I don't know who's in the studio.
I know.
Maybe Chris will
know.
call us and let us know. Chris Wren, are you out there? This time, if you're at the studio, you can just do it directly
It's
there.
the baseball coach for Jacksonville High School.
Okay.
And I'll get you his name. in
Baseball
just a
season
minute.
is right around the corner.
That's right.
That's good. So let's take a break. You're live on Local Real Talk. We'll be right back.
Casey Kasem has unlocked the American Top 40 vaults and is replaying original shows from the 70s. This week, Casey takes you back to March 1st, 1975. That's when Sammy Johns drove his Chevy van. Minnie Riperton was Lovin' You. Grand Funk found Some Kind of Wonderful. And Olivia Newton-John asked, Have you ever been mellow? You'll hear those songs and all the top 40 hits from March 1st, 1975, right here on American Top 40, the 70s.
Make sure you check out AT40 Saturday morning, 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1 at 11:20 a.m. WSME. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solitech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home that's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Why vote for Republican candidate Suzanne Long on March 5th? Mrs. Long is a conservative Christian with 30 years of experience in Onslow County schools, serving as a teacher, principal, director of curriculum and instruction, and executive director of exceptional children's programming. She has the perspective of being a military child, military spouse, and mom of a Jacksonville high school graduate. March 5th, choose a voice for quality public education for children, quality vetted resources and support for staff, and quality commitment to the community. Choose Suzanne Long. Paid for by the committee to elect Suzanne Long for Onslow County Board of Education.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, we're still here, 910-333-0139. And I think Chris is maybe getting close to being ready. Just wait for him. Anyway, Chris Rayner's going to join us live here in just a minute.
Just a quick update.
From the studio downtown.
Yesterday, we had a total of 693 voters came out to cast their ballot yesterday, early voting, which brings us to a total of 6,237 voters have cast their ballots thus far. Tonight, the polls are open to 7:30. Tomorrow is the last day of early voting, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the 5 early voting stations.
Don't be late. Just get there and
Monday there is no early voting.
Nope.
So if you go Tuesday, you might have a little bit of a wait.
Yeah, you probably will have a bit of a wait. I'm pretty sure you will on Tuesday. It's fine.
Yeah, I kind of figured it would start climbing up in numbers towards the end of early voting.
You got it.
Good morning.
Chris, are you there?
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
You got you loud and clear?
Wow, I'm here.
Good.
Had too much caffeine, so I might be a little loud this morning.
Let me get you.
How are you guys doing?
We're hanging in here.
Good.
Good. You ready for another exciting show on Sports Talk?
Absolutely. Who's going to be on?
Got Joshua Rojas, the head baseball coach of the Jacksonville Cardinals.
Yay.
Hard to believe it, but spring sports are here.
It's that time.
There's some of the local teams still playing basketball. The Southwest girls will play tonight at 6 at the Corral. If you might want to come out and check that out and see one of the best girls team in the East. They're undefeated still. The Southwest boys are playing at East Carteret. On the show, we'll go through the whole rundown of teams still playing. I'm not sure. I know Swansboro is still playing. They're boys. And then we'll go through the rundown. We'll have all that up for them and let everybody know where the games are and what games they can go see.
That'll be good.
We'll finish out the winter schedule.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about the spring stuff coming up with Josh.
Okay. That'd be good. We'll be listening to that. I like baseball. And it's, we got a team now. Not only the local high schools, but we got another team.
That's right.
Looking forward to that.
I'll be wearing my Ospreys hat.
There you go.
And Hollywood's got his Ospreys hat on.
Has he? I got to get me one.
We love our team already. We haven't even seen them play. We love them already.
Yeah. Well,
I heard they're going to have a really good guy doing their TV broadcasts too.
Who that?
I don't know. Some up and comer in the sports community and sports broadcasting community, and he's really good at baseball because he loves to tell old stories. Baseball's a little slower. You can fit in a lot of stuff. It's not like basketball where you can't fit any stories while basketball's going on. No. Unless you're really talented, like Woody Durham in the crowd, where you knew how to work it in on the breaks. But with baseball, I got plenty of time to natter. I mean, this guy will have plenty of time to natter.
So it's you.
It is me.
I thought so.
Talked to the league, and they wanted to ask them if they wanted to hire somebody local instead of just bringing somebody in to do it. And it may be a marriage made in heaven, or it could be a fatal disaster.
It will be fine. You'll be doing well.
I look forward to doing it.
Of course, I may be out there making jeering notes toward you.
Well, you may have to come sit with me. And rumor has it they're looking for somebody that knows how to do baseball stats. And that'd be a paid position also while you're there anyway. If you like to work the books. Some people will do it when, like, you go to Wood Ducks games. You'll see people with the scorecards, and they'll keep it as they go.
Sure.
So it's just more or less like the somebody has to keep the official book for the team.
Right.
So they want somebody to do that for the broadcast, and then I'm sure the team will have somebody do it, actually in the dugout and stuff. So if you know of anybody that fit that bill, let me know.
I will.
I'll pass it on to Eli Patino.
Look around.
Ellie Patino.
Ellie, yes. It took me a while.
To call him
to get it right.
And man, they are great. I love the Patinos. They're going to be really good for this team for Jacksonville and Onslow County.
Yeah. All right, sounds like a winner. Get your best together. You got 15 minutes.
I'm ready, baby.
All right, sounds good.
You guys have a good weekend.
Thank you, Chris.
You too.
It's always good to have Chris Rayner in. And again, his show comes on Fridays right after us, after the Fox News break, after following us.
I tried to listen to it last Friday. I sat there and listened to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the answer to the trivia question asked,
that's
but
cool.
I didn't call in because I didn't think that it would be very fair.
We've talked a little bit about the schedule for what this station does every day, because about the 7 to 9 o'clock, because you're listening to us right
7
now.
7 to 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday.
And then on Fridays, we've always got Chris and Sport Talk.
That's
and he's
right.
always got some cool people in there
Very
as well.
cool.
Quite often he has co-hosts. And of course, Hollywood is behind the scenes running the show. And then on every day, Hollywood is on the air from 3 o'clock until 7 o'clock right here. Of course, that other guy, weekdays, between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. What's his name?
Jokester.
Yeah, the jokester.
Rick Dees.
Yeah, the Duck Man.
Yeah, if you've ever heard this, I'm sure everybody knows Disco Duck.
Yes, if you haven't
That's
heard
Rick's song.
Google it. Rick is the one who actually does that song.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to play it every now and then.
Oh, we used to play it all the time too. I mean, that was the thing, especially at the high school dances. That was a big thing. So, we enjoyed it. And Rick is funny now. I listened to the station most all day yesterday, and especially drive time with Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He was putting it out there. He was.
We got a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Marty.
Hey, Marty.
Well, hello, Marty.
How you doing?
Doing fine. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing fine. I just had to call in and get something off my chest. Yesterday, from work to home, I go down Piney Green, turn on Country Club Road, and then I turn on Country Club Boulevard. And when I turned on Country Club Boulevard, there was another little white van. It felt like he had to get through Country Club going about 50 miles an hour and passing me.
Uh-oh.
And I tried to catch up with him to get the tag number, but he was going too fast. I felt like I couldn't go that fast because it's my neighborhood,
Well, I can't go that fast because there are people walking their dogs or just walking out there.
It's just ridiculous. And I did stay behind him, but not close enough all the way to the stop sign. He made a left on Conmer. So the price of progress of that road being open is we're going to pay the price of dogs probably getting hit, and hopefully nobody person is getting hit. But people go through there. There's 2 cars that same day was going 45 miles an hour.
It's a 25
It's
zone.
25, yeah.
I know, 25. And it just ticked me off. I wish I could have got him, but I didn't. But if he's out there listening, that jerk in the little white van, eyes are upon you. You will be gotten.
And there are a lot of dash cameras out there, and I've been seriously thinking about putting one in my Jeep.
I am too. I'm thinking about putting one on this work truck because I'm in it most of the time. Yeah, I just had it really fired me up, and I came in and my wife, your daughter, said, "What's wrong?" I said, "It's just stupid people out there going 50 miles an hour through our neighborhood. I mean, they don't even supposed to go 50 miles an hour on Piney Green Road. The speed limit is 45.
Yep.
We all know it goes 70. But I just had to get it off my chest. Hopefully he's listening and he's like, well, I need to slow down in there.
Well, he'll have at least 2 sets of eyes on him from now on.
You said a white pickup?
It's a van.
A white van. Oh,
It's a white van. It's not like my little Transit. It's made by somebody else. Very little writing on it. And if I could have seen him before, I saw him coming up. Then the next time I saw him, he was already beside me. I said, this fool's passing me.
They're on
If I could have seen him beforehand, he wouldn't have passed me.
on Country Club Road, right there around Ashley Apartments one day. I was on the way home, and car was turning right into Ashley Park or whatever it's called there. And a vehicle passed me and passed him in the turn lane headed towards Piney Green Road.
I believe it.
I wish I had a dash camera then, because you can rest assured he would be paid a visit.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to look into it this weekend and get one.
If you find a good one, let me know.
All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Marty.
My neighbor. Let's take a break. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
WSME. Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158. Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, Main Street, downtown Maysville. T-bone steak, $8.99 a pound. Half-cut boneless strip loin is only $8.99 a pound. London broiled is $4.59 a pound. How about boneless fryer breast, just $1.99 a pound? Baby back pork ribs, $2.59 a pound. Fresh fryer leg quarters, 59 cents a pound, sold in 10-pound bags. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, County Gold cantaloupes, $2.99 each. Extra large white seedless grapes, just $2.99 a pound. Crisp green cabbage is only 79 cents a pound. You get 2 3-pound bags of small Yukon Gold or red potatoes for just $5. And fresh blueberries are only $3.99 a pint. And you get a 1-pound package of Florida strawberries for just $3.99 a pound. And you get 3 12-ounce size 12 packs of Coca Sprite for just $14. That's 3 12 packs of the 12-ounce size of Sprite or Coke for $14. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street, Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, Dickie, we're back, and you just got the cost this morning.
That was just a little. I thought I was catching it before you came back on air, but you were too quick with that mic button.
Yeah, hey, a little bit more of the schedule here for WSME.
Yes, let's
when we're not on the air. Saturdays between 8 and 11 a.m. is American Top 40 with the 70s with Casey Kasem. I used to listen to him all the
I
time.
listened last Saturday.
Yeah. And at 11 o'clock till 2 o'clock is Goddard's Gold, music and artist interviews from the 60s and 70s with host Steve Goddard. And Saturday evening from 7 p.m. until 10 o'clock is Cool Bobby B's Doo Wop Stop. Doo Wop Stop.
Yes.
Okay. A flashback to the golden age of radio. Sundays at 8 to 8:30 in the morning is a Shiloh church service. And Sundays at 11 a.m. is the Swansboro Methodist church service, 11 till noon.
Yes.
You got a couple of chances there. In the afternoon from 12 noon on Sundays until 3 o'clock on the beach with the legendary Charlie Brown. No Ken. Featuring beach music classics and favorites. I love beach music. Sunday from 6 p.m. until 10 o'clock. Rick Dees and the weekly Top 40, the 80s edition. Dees counts down the hits with his original shows from the 1980s. How about that one?
Yes.
And don't forget Fox News headlines are every hour, top of the hour, or as close to it as we choose to put them.
Most of the time, top of the hour.
Yeah, that's right, close to the top of the
Once
hour.
in a while.
On April 20th last year, the Department of Justice issued a Dear Colleague letter to courts explaining that people cannot be imprisoned for outstanding fines until it has been determined they have the resources to pay the bill. If the person does not have the means to pay, imprisonment is unlawful.
Well, let's get back to cleaning out ditches and
golly,
do any other
put you
things.
to work. We can get you to do something. It's time to bring an end to the weird system of justice in our country in which a person's income determines whether they walk free or whether they go to jail. That's what the Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the Civil Rights Division said in a DOJ news release.
And now we're going to pick apart the 14th Amendment interpretation.
Yes.
Probably tie up a lot of court's time
And money.
debating that and money. You did the crime, you do the time, you pay the fine.
The cops down in Florida think they found the remains of a 16-year-old girl who went missing about 20 years ago.
Oh.
The Volusia County Sheriff's Office said detectives and forensic units uncovered human remains at an Ormond Beach mobile home park on Wednesday. They think it's the 16-year-old Autumn McClure, who was reported missing in 2004.
Well, closure for the family.
Yes.
Oh, she's a pretty girl.
Yes.
Closure for the family. It's sad, but at least they now know.
Yeah.
So.
The detectives learned early in the investigation that McClure's grandmother received letters and phone calls from McClure saying she was fine and would come home after she turned 18. Investigators also learned McClure was staying with a woman she worked with at Winn-Dixie, as well as the woman's boyfriend, then 31-year-old Brian Donnelly. The two lived in the Shady Oaks mobile home park, and they told investigators McClure stayed with them only for a short time. I smell a rat.
Oh,
Buried under the
definitely.
mobile home?
Oh, you sure?
Okay.
Sure.
There's a woman living across the street from me in Wilmington, sort of across the street.
She's going to say here. I was like, what?
Years ago, that her husband disappeared, and he just died naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But she thought it would be suspicious for her, so she buried him underneath their mobile home.
Oh, no. That's
then when detectives kept asking about it, she was a little on the wacky side anyway. But when the detectives started asking about where is this missing person, because they got reports from family members that he just disappeared, he wasn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "He just left, he ran away." So she then dug him up. This was a year or so later.
What?
Put him in a blanket and took him to another location and reburied him.
This woman needs some counseling.
She needed counseling.
She needs some help. Wow.
She could have been charged. As I recall, she probably was charged with concealing the death or whatever, but
Right.
Never tried.
Hey,
Let's just put it that way. Yes.
plugging next week, we've got some really good guests on
Cool.
tap. We're starting off Monday with Commissioner Paul Buchanan,
Mhm.
and then our usual Health Wednesday, Dr. Rose and Peter Wright. But we also have a representative from the Boys and Girls Club coming in,
Cool.
and the CEO herself of Onslow Memorial Hospital is
Yay!
slated to visit us next week.
Anxious
So-
to have that.
and we have a few others on tap that we've just got to, confirm their visits, but shaping up to be an interesting week next week. And you still, like, Tuesday's election day. So
Yeah, it's going to be hot and heavy.
yeah, I was going to go vote today, but I want to wait till it starts raining. Nobody will be in the pool.
Oh, we'll see. Okay. We'll see you on Monday morning. Right now, we're going to do Fox News break. And right after that, it's the one, the only. It's, what's his name? Chris Rayner?
Oh yes,
Chris Rayner's
Sports
coming
Talk.
on right now. Just after
Head
this Fox News.
head baseball coach at Jacksonville High
There
School.
you
Go
go.
Cards.
And Chris Hollywood, the man, is going to be in the house helping things out too as well. We'll see you
course.
Monday morning. You're live and local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Jay Papa, President Biden in Brownsville, Texas, employing Republicans, including Donald Trump, to work with him on new laws for the border.
So instead of playing